Um, all of our meetings this semester, I'll record them all. I understand that sometimes it's tough for people, to get to class on time. You might be skiing in the mountains, like Matthew, and not able to stream your live stream or whatever, right? Life happens. So I'm going to record this because I guarantee you this semester, life is going to happen, right? Things will get interesting as I expect that they usually do. Okay, so I'm looking out here of my window. I live in LaPorte. That is just north Fort Collins. And I have a 4-acre farm here, but it's rural. So does anybody from Iowa or the Midwest that knows the rural, how to wave if you're on a rural country road? Does anybody know how to do that? You can chime in right now. Tell us. There it is, Parker. Yeah. And Parker, what's the rule? Go ahead. Tell us the rule. There's a rule about that.
I don't know.
Well, you did kind of this. Does the hand leave the steering wheel?
Oh, absolutely not.
Right. There you go. Now, I see people shaking their heads. This is sociology. We're going to do this all semester long. So I'm just going to go off on a tangent right away. I think, and I've been calculating this because I've been out here on this farm for 4 years. I think the better you know somebody, the more your hand might leave the wheel, but it never fully is a wave if you're in the country, right? Like nobody's waving like this in the country. It's like, here's the steering wheel. Hey, yep, I might know that guy. Don't even know you. I'm gonna give you the point. And then, what's up? Maybe I'll take my hand off the steering wheel for Randy. Randy's the guy that drives up and down my road 20 times a day with a shotgun in the back of his pickup truck, and his adorable niece who has huge belt buckle and cutest little cowboy boots. Anyway, I love my neighborhood, love my farm. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me, and then I will tell you about the course. 4-acre farm, so we have 110 chickens. A fox came by the other day during the day and killed a duck and 2 chickens. I know, like in a 15-minute window. So then they've all been inside for the last couple days. So we grow as much of our own food as we can on this 4-acre farm. Biodiversity and how that works is very, very important to me. We do organic agriculture out here, strictly making compost teas and things like that. I have a son named Storm, and he's 15, and another son named Zion. And now you know I own a farm, and now you're like, this hippie. Oh my God. No. I take baths. We're good. But I do love this place. So this is one thing that I do. I'm a trifecta, really. Huge Bulls fan from Chicago originally. So I got the trifecta: farmer, teacher, and musician. Oh, that's right. I am making no money, but I'm happy. Woo! All right. So those are the 3 lowest paying professions I think you can find. So that's how you know I'm in it, because I'm independently wealthy. So that's how you know I love teaching, because why would I do it otherwise? That's it. My partner is an artist. Julie, she's into organic food as well, and she helps run the farm. We sell organic eggs, plant starters. And then this last year, because I'm also a musician, I forgot to add the 4th lowest paying job, especially when you can't play shows anymore. And I've been playing in a band in town called Musketeer Gripweed for the past 15 years. Whoa, I think you've been there. We just released an album called More Than Ever, and I think it's on the interweb. I know, he's that old guy teacher, right? No, it's good music, trust me. And when you can't play shows, we recorded an album. We're recording another one this spring, keeping busy. And we actually had several safely distanced outdoor shows at our farm last summer. So something that kind of came out of the fact that I wanted to play music. My dad used to chaperone our band when I was 15, so that I could play places. So I've been playing my whole life. Not playing shows this last year has been really weird. I'm sure a lot of you are used to going to shows, and it's really weird that you're not doing that anymore right now. So, mask up, come to the farm, and then we've done some of that too. So the farm is like food and healing, and music and healing, and art and healing, because my partner's an artist, like I said, and I teach sociology. So for this class, there's definitely a lot that I do on the farm that I'm going to try and translate and talk about: biodiversity or organic agriculture, or like, what does sustainability really mean? I mean, how do you practice it? What's that look like? So to me, There's a lot of fantastic people in this department, and I love this department. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I do love teaching this class, and I'm going to try and teach it in a pragmatic way. Okay. So when we're looking for solutions to a lot of the problems that are facing us, yes, a satellite with thousands of mirrors reflecting all of the light and cooling down the earth simultaneously. That is super cool. Some total Star Wars stuff right there. Oh, your cape's getting in the way, Boba Fett. I'm all about that, but it's not very pragmatic, right? Like it's not necessarily a solution that's accessible to us. If we're going to reverse the damage that's done and move forward, yes, creative ideas are important. Go Bears. But having pragmatic solutions are important too. So I think I bring that in what I'm doing every single day out here on the farm, adjusting to biodiversity and figuring out how it all works. So I love this class. Yeah, so that's just a little bit about me. I've been teaching here for 15 years. I think the Soc department is amazing. And as if you don't know the people in the Soc department, you should get to know them. If you're not a Soc major, you should be. Jason, that seems like you're selling me pretty hard on the sociology department. Well, I'll tell you what, look, I'm a weirdo and I have always felt comfortable in this department. It is full of people, the people who are 80 were marching for people's rights 40, 50, 60 years ago. The people who are 20 are doing the same thing. Everyone is welcome. And I really only recommend a couple things. One is the Instapot. Has anybody here ever cooked? Not Colorado Instant Pot, the Instapot. Has anybody here ever cooked with an Instapot? Tell me that's what I'm talking. Oh, you should. It's amazing. It's like a pressure cook. Well, anyway, I digress. But I recommend that for cooking, and I also recommend the Soc department because I think there's some brilliant people here, and so I'm excited. I'm excited to be working with you. I'm excited to have this class, and even though this is, I mean, it does rice perfectly. 10 out of 10. Yes, absolutely.
Jason, there is a request from Natasha.
Yeah.
I think she is asking that please can we just have a class on the farm?
Yeah, come on over. What? Right? Thank you for pointing that out to me. The comments are going so fast here. This is hilarious. This is like, well, I'm going to get to all sorts of things. This is going to be a great semester, but I would love to do that. I'd love to do that. That'd be fantastic. And it's usually, and I have it in the syllabus, we try and do a biodiversity thing out here because I'm only like 10 minutes from school. Maybe if we could find a way to do it outside, in the spring or something like that, I would, everybody's invited for sure. Yeah. And I will share things with you as it happens. Last semester, for the first time in 4 years, Storm left the chicken door open overnight and 40 chickens were massacred by a coyote. So I will keep you up with all of the up-to-date, interesting farm news, which probably might not be interesting for many of you, but whatever. Social distance chicken party. Get down. All right. Okay. So that's me in a nutshell. I've been here at CSU for 15 years. I love sociology. I know that you're coming from a lot of different places. And let me say this, life is going to happen this semester. Okay. Like somebody's going to be shredding some gnarly pow bruh. And I have 2 teenage boys. I specialize in using terms wrong on purpose. So when I found out what a Visco girl was 2 years ago in my Soc class in the fall, let me tell you, it was on. So another thing is that this is a Soc class. So we're going to be looking at problems with the environment. And yes, we're going to be using science, and it's a social science course. But I think that looking at it through human behavior and talking about human behavior, that's what really makes this interesting or possible or not possible, or why we're facing a lot of the problems that we're currently facing in regards to the environment. So that's it. That's me in a nutshell. We are going to meet here. So let me back up. Sorry, there's so many things, and I haven't done this for a couple months, or at least a month and a half. Things will happen to you. Again, somebody's going to skiing accident. Somebody's going to break up with a boyfriend or girlfriend. It will be the tragic end of your world until 4 weeks later you are like, why was I dating that person anyway? That's not so tragic. So whatever happens, here's my rule for the semester. Stay in contact with me. Okay? Old school. If you want to succeed in this or any other college class, stay in contact. All right? If you fall off the face of the earth, if somebody gets sick, heaven forbid, I don't know, heaven forbids, just somebody forbids. Just reach out to me, okay? If you disappear for a couple weeks because something happens and you're like, I can't pass this class. The teacher's gonna like look over his glasses at me in some disapproving academic way. I'm not, okay? I want you to succeed. I can only do so much. People will earn success in this class and they will earn some Fs. Woo, doggy. I bet they will earn some Fs too. But that's not me, because what I want to do for you is it like, just like this is a small college and a very small class, I want this to be accessible for you. I want our GTAs to be here for you. And they will be. We're going to give you feedback and help you with your writing, generate creative ideas. And hopefully this feels like a much smaller class, and you feel like you get that kind of service. Does that make sense? Y'all on board with that? So if something happens, please reach out. And just please make sure that you stay in touch. Now, I am seeing here on the side that I've had some students here before, maybe some people that are in the Soch 100. So for anybody who is saying anything nice about me early on in the semester, thank you. Now let me also say, if I already am rubbing you the wrong way, or you look through the syllabus, or after I'm done here, this doesn't seem like a good fit for you, holy cow, you're paying money for this, right? Like a lot of money. So if it doesn't seem like a good fit, that's okay with me too. And make sure that you just make the best decision for you academically, right? Does that make sense? All right, good. I like being able to see things. And here's how important it is that I see your faces once in a while. Like, I was in a parent-teacher conference for my 15-year-old or my Storm or Zion, I can't remember. And the teacher was like almost in tears because he always had his camera on and was always participating. You got to understand, teachers like love teaching. And if they just see a bunch of black boxes, like that's, you know what I'm saying? So thank you for as often as you feel comfortable making this contact. I think it's really important. So yeah, that's really cool. Okay, let me look around here. Maybe screen share and poke around the class for a second. Let me see. That one's going. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna talk about how things work in this class. But let me do that by screen sharing this, and then if I could do this successfully. And all right, can you see this? Shake your head. Yeah, everybody can see the class. Good. Okay. So there's class with some fancy links. I like the way that this is laid out, but I just want to make it simple here. So here's announcements. Anything you need to know is going to be in announcements, right? I'm happy you're here. Here's our films, YouTube channel. Yes, there's a YouTube channel. My 13-year-old and 15-year-old told me that I won't actually have to teach as long as my YouTube channel takes off. So, sky's the limit. I'm going to be the Mark Rober of sociology. That's crossing my fingers, everybody. But if you want to go there and subscribe, you can. If you don't worry about it. But at least you get a notification. I will then try and post the lectures in modules. All right, so you can keep up with that. But this is a good place. Like if ASMAL, if the GTAs grade the papers and decide here's the common things that people need to improve upon, announcements is where they're going to put it, right? So you can definitely come here for as much as, just about anything. Top Hat, I'll get to that in a minute. All right, spring exam dates. Here are all the exam dates, okay? They won't change, and they will be taken online, and they open up for like 24 hours, or maybe like 9 or 8 a.m. one day to noon the next. So you should be able to do it. It's 50 questions, multiple choice. Look, here's the deal. We've got to find a way. You're going to be writing plenty of essays to test knowledge. Multiple choice tests aren't the greatest. That being said, I think that it's a fair way to test your knowledge. We're going to do the lectures. I'm going to enforce what I want you to know, put out a study guide, and that way we're reinforcing the right stuff all the time. Because although I am hippie in some of my ways, as a teacher, I want retention, and retention is very important. I want you to retain this material, because if we're talking about the environment, there might not be anything more important for us to retain than how to figure out challenges that we have to water or air or food or the things that keep us alive. So anyway, That'll be what the tests look like in here. There'll be 4 of those exams. Here are the dates right here. The college game, a few words on winning. This is just basically like back in my day, but manage your time, make contact, ask somebody something. Be respectful, keep your integrity level high. Don't ask for a grade bump or push. If you get behind, reach out to me. Yeah, this is just kind of a general thing here. Okay, and I know I'm explaining a lot today, but the top hat. Okay, so top hat. You're going to need the book. First of all, the book is required, and it says that on page 1. And if I go back here, I don't know, did I do it in red? No, good. Because sometimes everybody, like always, red is like people color associate with negative because that's how things have been graded. But the book is required. And you know the cool thing about the book? The guy who wrote it is in the B wing of Clark. Michael Carolyn is the dean of the Social Behavioral Sciences Department. He's fantastic. And I can't think of anything cooler than to have us using a textbook. And if you have a question about it or want to talk to the author, he's upstairs. He's upstairs. And Michael travels the world, does a lot with food and sustainability. And wow, is he an incredible guy. So that textbook is required. You're going to need it for our content assignments. Okay. All right.
Jason,
Yeah, go ahead.
Jason, thank you so much. Michael is my PhD advisor. So I have been working with him closely. And a good thing is that the ebook is available in the library also. So the library has an ebook version of the book. So if anybody is not able to collect the hard copy, then he or she can get the ebook from the library.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. And that's really what I want is for students. I would rather students be able to access that text and eat. You know what I mean? Or pay your bills. And so I try and make this class, not have as many add-ons as possible. That being said, let me talk quickly about Top Hat. So Top Hat is basically an online or a student response system. So I'll ask a question. Do you feel like fixing the environment is definitely possible, maybe impossible? And I open up the questions the days that we have classes. You click on them and answer them, and then that gives us all sorts of feedback. And the feedback is really cool. Now, because the feedback is so cool, and I've listed it, let me see, I think I've listed that in announcements as well. And it's basically for $25 or $26 for 4 months for the semester. It's an app that you buy. And if you click in 90% of the time and above and answer these questions, it helps with our discussions, because a lot of what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to lecture, but we're also discussing. When this is in person, I mean, there's a lot of discussion in this class because I want this to be very reciprocal. Okay. I don't want it to be me blah, blah, blahing academic stuff at you. I want us to be bouncing ideas back and forth. If you use it and click in during the semester, almost all the time, 90% above, we add 5% to your grade. So it's participation. But if you're like in an 85, and you use it, then you're going to be, I think, in a better spot. You'll be at a 90 or something like that. Right. Okay. So I provided links. And if you can't click in the entire time, you'll see the join code. There's the join code, but it's something in a way for our class to participate. And it's cool because instead of just clicking A, B, or C, I could be like, describe the state of the environment, or what's the name of your car? Do you love your car? Like when we get to the transportation chapter, I don't know, all sorts of things like that. How long is your average shower? But it allows us to like answer in detail and then get a discussion started. It is optional. Now, I have 2 classes. There's 300 students. I have 3 classes, but only 2 that are using Top Hat that are live. So I have a handful of subscriptions that are need-based. If you really, 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 really can't afford that and you want to participate, nothing in my class monetarily is going to keep you from doing it, participating. And again, you don't lose points for not having Top Hat. But if you really, really, really have a need, a few people have reached out already. I have a few subscriptions that I can sort of like scholarship for people for the semester so that people can participate. We're not leaving anybody out. Okay. All right. Let me go to assignments quickly. We are going to have some solution essays. Okay. So instead of writing A 2-page paper or just responding to questions out of the textbook. I just feel like students wanted to look for solutions more because we're talking about the environment and it's always problem, 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 problem. So we have these solution assignments. It's coming up with a solution. You don't have to, for whatever it is, greenhouse gases or Paul Stamets' lecture on mushrooms or population. And so you come up with a solution to some of the many challenges that we will cover in these chapters and write a page about it. And you don't need to come up with the most mind-blowing like thing ever or creative thing, but it can be, and it has to be a specific solution. Anyway, the point is, I really, really do think that we spend so much time talking about problems that we always have to, in an environmental sociology class or anytime we talk about the environment, we need to frame things in terms of solutions. And the more positive we frame things, the more we'll be able to accomplish those things. All right, does that make sense to everybody? There is one big paper in this class, and it is a food waste paper. So these are smaller, just 1-page solution assignments. There's a larger food waste paper, and that has sources that are already built into it that we know are really good, solid sources. You'll have to find some outside sources as well. That's not due till April 12th. I'll cover the paper in a Zoom sort of session all by itself, but just so that you see that there. If I click on modules, that's where you're going to see observations, discussions. That's where I will post the PowerPoints and the links to the lectures. The lectures will be in a folder on YouTube. That's our 220 labeled SOC 100 220. You'll see that when you go to the YouTube channel, but then I will also put them here under modules just to sort of help out. All right. Let me stop the share quick, head back to everybody's beautiful faces. Look at this is I don't know, the best looking and most academically successful set of people I've ever laid eyes on in my life. I think so. Jack Moeller. Jack, you kind of look like Jack Black. I'm just gonna say you're splitting the difference with the beard right now, bro. I'm digging it. I love Tenacious D is one of my favorite music things that happens. All right, so I'm gonna pause here because there's a lot of stuff going on. Does anybody have any questions? I'm gonna introduce the GTAs. I'm gonna talk a bit more about grading, but out of anything that I've covered, does anybody have any questions?
I have a question real quick. So I emailed you about this. I'm not sure if you saw it, but does the textbook, will it include like, some textbooks include like the little top hat code that you can put in? I'm assuming this one doesn't.
No, nope, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yep.
Okay.
And this textbook is it's old fashioned, and I think it's a much smaller publisher, so they don't have like a giant online set of resources. I do believe you can find the ebook, but as far as like test banks and stuff like that, I don't want to sort of add a bunch of extra stuff to the class in that way either. So yeah, does that answer that?
Yeah, that does. Thank you.
Other questions so far?
Yeah, I had two. One, is the Zoom link that we used for this session going to be the same for all sessions?
Every session.
Cool. And the other, is there anything posted on Top Hat, or am I missing something?
Not yet. There's not. Nope. I will post some questions Thursday morning. I'll like reveal some questions and open them up for the entire day on Thursday.
Okay, and so for now, it's just the only assignments are introduce ourselves and the people watching thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Introduce yourselves on the discussion board. I think that'd be great. A little bit about who you are. And then there's a social observation. And that is just really what I'm trying to get everybody to like come together on here is that this is a sociology class. So we're going to be talking about things through sociological or many sociological lenses. So first thing, observe people somewhere. Check out the discussion board. It's the first one. It's easy to do. Look, if you want to do it online, you can. If you want to do it outside with a mask, but I want you to be safe. And look, this is a social science course. So the thing that I say on day one of SOC 220 is, if it's gonna bother you that we can't look at a set of beliefs like, I believe climate change is garbage, then this is not the class for you. Like, I'm gonna tell you that right away. This is a science class, and we know that climate change is real, and we're not in that belief zone. We're in Scienceville, which I don't think should bother anybody, because you're paying $100,000 plus to be educated with science, right? Not sort of just indoctrinated with beliefs. And especially when we talk about the environment, and we know how critical this is. And when we and we will bring politics into it, but we can look at how somebody voted, right? We don't need to make value judgments about a person. Do you support the environment? Do you not? Not every Republican hates the environment. Not every Democrat is a tree hugging hippie, right? So we're going to look at all of that stuff, but we want to be comprehensive. And I want you to look at it through a sociological viewpoint. So just go out and make that observation somewhere, look at human interaction, because that's key. Because check it out. If we're going to change what's going on scientifically with our environment, temperatures and readings and water levels and sea levels, that change doesn't take place if people don't make it, right? Like, we're the big reason for this. No questions asked. Science is there. So if we can't learn people's behavior and how to motivate them and what doesn't motivate them and how to communicate with people in regards to the environment, nothing's going to happen, right? So I think that that's why I'm sort of continue to reinforce throughout the course of the semester that this is science, yes, but it's also social science. So let's get out there and observe how we behave with the environment. I'm going to come at you with the question next time, and I'm going to get you thinking about it now, which is, what is your relationship with the natural world? Yep. Not AB, nothing ABC about that, right? We're going to talk about that this semester because our relationship with the natural world is very correlated to how we treat it and to what happens with it, right? Am I right? So this is, again, the human element is so very, 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 very important. All right. Other questions? I'm not going to jump into a lecture today. I just want to introduce the class, get people comfortable with it, get us thinking in these terms. I'll look at a couple other technical things, let the GTAs introduce themselves, but any questions right now? Any questions about anything I've covered? I'm going to flip through your faces for a minute. Nice.
Just to clarify, we meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays or just Tuesdays?
Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12:30. And usually it'll last about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. I mean, an hour and 15 minutes live is a little more dynamic than an hour and 15 minutes sitting on your butt. So I'm going to keep things. My goal, and this is like my whole thing, is can we get people to retain and can we have fun learning? I know that sounds crazy, but if we were in the classroom, ask Asmal. I'd be pumping tunes. I would check out what kind of speakers that room has. We'd be listening to music. We'd be relaxing. I turn the lights down because who can learn in a Walmart with like 1,000 fluorescent lights that we already know scientific studies teach us about retention and lighting, relaxing and retention and learning. Look, all of these things that I would do in a classroom, I want to do here from a distance as well. So keep in mind, that's always my big deal is getting us to remember and learn this material so that we can impact things, society, culture, the world in a positive way with this knowledge. I mean, as sociologists, we just don't study something like teenage pregnancy to be like, oh, that's a lot of people getting pregnant. We study it so that we could do something with that information. We don't look at like gerrymandering and voter fraud and things like that and say, oh, that's nice. We study those things to see how they impact people to make a change. And I would hope, a positive change for the most part, particularly when we're looking about and proposing to solutions to the state of our natural world. Other questions? Just reading some of the comments here. All right. Other questions? How many of us are there? 107 here today. There's 130 in the class in general. All right. GTAs, would you guys, gentlemen, like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I think I'm sure that after listening Jason, it is boring to listen to me because he's awesome, and I'm happy to have him again. This is my third times I'm working with him, and I was surprised in the first time when I was in his class how a person can talk so loudly in a huge classroom for more than 1 hour. And I asked him that, how do you do this? And he replied that I'm a musician. And then I realized that it's possible for him. And thank you so much. My name is Azma Hussain. I'm a third year PhD student in sociology, and I'm from Bangladesh. Probably you know the country from where I am, and my research interest is environmental sociology, with a special focus on food, energy, and water nexus in developing countries. And along with my PhD program in sociology, I'm also a national research trainee in interdisciplinary training, education, and research in food, energy, and water systems at Colorado State University. So I really like the class because it is connected with my research interest, and I hope we will enjoy the whole semester in this awesome class together. And I'll send an announcement explaining my office hour, virtual office hour, and it will be just before the class in Tuesday and Thursday from 11 to 12:30 p.m. I'll send an announcement with the team or Zoom links. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Asmal. And yeah, I don't. When we're in a big classroom, like the big classroom, I don't need a microphone. Boom. Although last spring I got really sick. Could have been COVID, but there was no way to tell. Right after the semester started, for like 5 weeks of razor blades in my lung, and the worst thing I've ever experienced. But it was really before anybody sort of caught on to that, and I was out of the game last spring for a long time. I do not plan on that being the case this semester. All right, where's our other GTA?
Hello everyone.
Hey.
My name is Bert. I worked with Jason last semester in his general sociology. It was fun. Was the biggest class I have ever seen. Yeah, so I hope I mean this semester this class is much smaller than compared to the previous one. So I hope we have a good time, and nice to meet you all.
Awesome. Hey, so here's how I do it. Since I'm used to rings, that's right, because I won all those rings with Jordan and Pippen. Anyway, I like to think that our team is like that team. So if you want, the best GTA team, the best teaching team, that's us. That's us. We've so many rings over the last few years. It's so much winning on our team. It's hard to calculate. So I love these gentlemen, and furthermore, they can help you with anything you need. These are people getting their advanced degrees that have a lot of experience, and please use them like anybody else that you meet in school, in college, really, to make this experience more worthwhile, right? Like if I say the guy who wrote the book is in the B wing of Clark, you should email Michael Carolyn, because part of what you're paying for your college education is to meet people and know people and get people in the fields that you are interested in and make contact with those people, right? So yeah, use our GTA team. They're going to send some emails around about who's going to be grading papers. The cool thing is that one of those individuals will be working with you all semester long on your papers. So instead of like jumping around between 2 or 3 different people giving you all sorts of feedback, you work with the same person. And in a bigger class, I think that's an advantage, and then of course, everybody can work with me all the time, because I have magical amounts of time. No, everybody can work with me whenever you want. Like do a Zoom meeting. And here's the deal. I'm going to let you guess. After the first test, who normally would come into my office hours? Who is going to come in first to office hours? Anybody know?
Those that feel they did poorly?
No, Samuel, but I appreciate you answering. No, like most often it's like the A students that got an 94, and that just will not do. Right? Like they want to know how they can do better. So after an exam, or which is usually when it happens, but whoever you are, we can meet kind of anytime. face to face and at your convenience. So again, whether it's with the GTAs or myself, I want us to be accessible to you. Yeah, I wish actually in my office hours it was people that were really struggling so that we could get into it and like work hard, but that's not always the case. But I just want you to know, I really do want to emphasize this semester that it's really, 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 really important that we're here for you. And I don't mean that in some cheesy way. Like I'm just here as a teacher to help you with things. If you're stressed out, this is not that class. My normal semesters, I'm going to say this. When you come into this classroom, I got to do this now all the time. Storm, will you clean your room? No. When you come into this classroom, you call that dishwashing? No. When you come into this classroom, should be where you forget all that stuff that stresses you out. And for an hour and 15 minutes, you get to do one thing. We are really poor at monotasking in this culture. We think that we are really good at multitasking, but we just kind of do like 10 things half-ass. What I want us to do in here is come in here for this hour and 15 minutes and leave the rest of the world behind you if you can. Leave your stressors out there. Again, make this worth your dollar. And instead of being on your phone, until last spring, I had the most oppressive cell phone, like whatever in my syllabus of anybody you've ever seen. If anybody had me in a live classroom before we did this, like I would tell you, I will call you out. I even walked up 15 flights and there was this 400-pound lineman and he had created a fort out of his backpack for his phone. And I just kept talking as I went up to him, and finally he didn't know. And I got right above him and I'm like, "Are you on your phone?" And he's like, "Yes." And I said, "Did you just build a cute little fort for your phone?" And he's like, "Yes." And I was like, well, public shame isn't enough. Get out of my class, bro, or get off the phone. So here's the deal. Like, it's not because I want to pick on people. It's because this is our time, right? This is our moment to learn, to be together, and all that other stuff. Let it go for an hour and 15 minutes. I guarantee you the crazy will still be there when we get back. Oh, psychology majors are mad now. I didn't mean that. You know what I mean. The intensity of the world. All right, cool. Oh yeah, so another thing I have to say. This is paramount in my class. Cultural pluralism is, I believe, the most important thing you can learn in a sociology class. That is the ability to see things from another person's perspective. It is critical to you as a human being, okay? So in this class, we respect everyone. If you had a class before, you can testify in the chat room that when it comes to racism, discrimination, or white supremacy, all that deplorable loser ass stuff has no place in my classroom, okay? I am very, 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 very to that point. CSU, almost every single semester has somebody paint themselves in blackface or hang a paper towel noose outside somebody. That's terrorism. And it means you're a horrible human being besides. And I'm going to tell you this institution needs to learn to support diversity with more backbone. Oh, day one, he's going off. Yeah, I will, because I love this place. It's not doing a horrible job, but we need to do better. So that being said, in my classes, everybody matters, and there's no tolerance for, who has tolerance for white supremacy? My goodness, that's ridiculous. I'll just say that, okay? So when that stuff happens on campus, I know it's not my students. First thing I do is find that name and look at my roster. It's like, I remember it was like a year ago, and Julie, the blackface and the Black Panther thing. Anyway, and I was like, I came home and Julie's like, what's going on? What's going on? And I'm like, don't even talk to me till I get to my rosters, because I know it's not my people. And of course, it wasn't. All right. And here's the deal. I want to teach this class with compassion. Okay. There's no place for any of that other business. Like, that's just hate. I'm not into that. But I do want to remind ourselves, take a breath once. For real. I'm gonna lean in once here. Shit's crazy out there. Okay? And I'm just not gonna pull any punches. Everybody's struggling. You don't know if you're going to stay in your dorm, leave your house, get sick. What the hell is going on? Here's the deal. I'm here for you as a teacher and as a human being, so are the GTAs. Let's be there for each other, okay? This semester, when I always say be good people and do good things, let us be the best people we could be and do the goodest things and do the best we can do for other people, right? So that's not like preaching about nothing, okay? We mask up because we know it helps other people. People in other cultures have been masking up so that they don't get other people sick forever, for a long time. The fact that we struggle with that is ridiculous. It's not a personal civil liberties thing. It's a health and public safety issue, period. Okay, so how many soapboxes am I going to jump on today? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I will share this with you, though. This is the 6-inch, never released Han Solo in carbonite. I know. If you wanted to know the things just within my reach, you wouldn't even believe it. Check it out. All right. I, in addition to being a musician and a dad, my mom didn't make me throw away any of my toys. I collect vintage toys. I love Star Wars. I had a Mandalorian tattoo for the last 27 years before anybody knew what a Baby Yoda was. Let me just say that. I am the OG when it comes to that. Does that make me old? You bet it does. And like I said, I will purposely find out things that you say and do in your generation to misuse them, and oftentimes to embarrass my own children. I'm fine with that. I'm kind of a 70s old school parenting person. So, all right. Anyway, the tests, paper, content assignments, solutions, respect for each other. This is a timeline. Here is the past. This is nowish. This is nowish. This is nowish. It can't really ever be now, right? It's got to be ish, because now was just a second ago. This is the future. In regards to sociology, human development, interaction in the environment, we have to know what happened before to know where we're at now, so that we don't do that same thing, if that's a mistake or whatever it is, in the future. So all semester long, I want us to be on this timeline. The timeline thing, keep it in mind. In addition to the timeline, keep that reciprocal idea in mind. You have all done things that I've not done. People have traveled to countries and been to cultures and seen things and participated in environmental programs, things that I've never even heard of before. So I want to teach you, you're going to teach me, and life is circular. We live in square blocks and square houses and square. But the life thing, the reciprocal thing, everything is circular, okay? And we are all interconnected. And I don't mean that in some way like, hey, bro, we're all interconnected and stuff. I don't mean that at all. I mean the air that you breathe that comes our way sometimes from Greeley is for real. The water that we drink in underground aquifers after we've been fracking is for real, right? Okay, we are interconnected. Fukushima, right? Sending that radioactivity back into the ocean, spreading around the globe, that is interconnectedness, right? So when I talk about interconnectedness, I do mean it in a spiritual sense at times, and I also mean it in a very scientific, physical sense of the word. What somebody does impacts somebody else and somebody else and somebody else and somebody else. So I think that's important for us to look at this semester. Okay. Yes, can you explain the 2 due dates for the discussion posts? Now, I have a due date, which is the due date. Okay, if it says March or April 8th is the due date, that's the final cutoff for that discussion. But you have to make at least 1 post a week in advance. Why? Because otherwise, you know what happens, right? Everybody posts on the last day and there's no discussion. It's just like, it's just like throwing up stuff and down on the internet. So you got to make 1 post to the discussion after you watch a film or whatever it is, a week in advance at least. And then on 2 different days, your other 2 posts. And you can respond 5 times, but you can't respond multiple times on the last day. And you do have to get in the game of the discussion a week early. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah. Teaching online for years and years and years, I know it seems a bit like, what's that? But if I don't have people post early and there's just one, like the due date, we know what happens. It's just a big pile on and people are kind of typing, but nobody's really responding or reading. So now the social observations aren't like that. That's just you do your thing. You don't have to reply to anybody. That being said, I own so many amazing documentaries. I think normally I show them in class. I don't want to have you have to buy them all the time or rent them. If I didn't record this, but showed the movie on a screen share, we wouldn't be breaking any laws, would we? Yeah, I mean, I do that in the classroom. Right. Okay. So instead of having you, rent stuff all the time, I'm going to try and find it legitimately out there, like YouTube or someplace, not the dark intraweb. But I will try and find it and post it. If I can't find a link, then I'll put it out there for you that maybe you have to rent something. But it's only because some of the stuff that we're going to watch and that I want you to see is so amazing. I feel it's worth it. Again, I own all those films that I would show in class and just stream them. So maybe if I stream it and don't record it, I'll figure out a way to do that. All right. More questions for me, because we're not even an hour in yet. We will be done early, but I do want you to feel comfortable with this class, and either comfortable that you don't want to take it, cool, shake hands, be on our way, good game, or you stay in the class for this semester and I try and help you. Ooh, last thing. Oh, check it out. All right. On the discussion board, there's a link to our food drive. Now, this is the extra credit thing for the semester. And I'm going to tell you how much I love this. And I'm looking at your faces now. I'm recording your faces and looking at it. Last semester, and it was a minimum of a $5 donation to my students, because feeding people, I'm into feeding people, right? I got to scroll to see your faces. We raised $9,000, which provided 18,000 meals. That's right. Get some. That's right. Vogue. Whatever. I don't know. People don't even do that anymore either. So yeah, can you believe that? 18,000 meals. 15 years ago, I started collecting cans at Front Range in my classroom, and it became a horrible mess, and people hated me, and it was a problem. And then I collected cans all semester long in my CSU office, and then they would rain down upon us during the semester, and that was a problem, and people hated me, and I get that. Now, we moved it to the end of the semester, but we can't do it in person anymore. So we went online for the first time last semester, and nobody shoot me an email. Violent metaphors and language is very important. If I'm teaching a Social 100 class, language is the key to all culture. So I was going to say we crushed it. We didn't. We did a great job. We rocked it. I play music when we get off stage and somebody's like, "You killed it, bro." I'm like, "Ease up." And somebody's like, "I'll shoot you an email." I'm like, "Please don't." They're like, "You're a jerk." Yeah. But language is important, right? So we did amazing. I mean, if we can provide 18,000 meals for people, then that is one of my goals this semester. If you can get and earn extra credit by doing so, fine. Oh, but Jason, that's a pay to play. Oh, but no, it's not. Let me tell you. You also have to make a post on the discussion board with at least 2 sources talking about poverty and homelessness and the impact that a food shelf or a food bank makes. But Jason, I still don't have $5. But wait, there's more. You don't need $5. If you really, really can't do it, I've got the ability to write about the same amount of stuff, a little bit more, not too much more, a 2-page paper on homelessness and poverty in Northern Colorado. Okay. So the extra credit thing is there. But that being said, we had somebody donate, like, okay, so my mom, she would like get somebody's dog spayed or neutered, like 5 people every year, like people who can't afford it. She would do something like that for people, right? So the thing is, somebody's grandma or somebody last semester made a $1,500 donation in the name of Social 100. That not only got more extra credit for everybody, and it not only fed like 3,000 provided 3,000 meals, but everybody wins. It's so cool. So for me, this is the inspiring part of the class. All semester long, the link is on in announcements and on the discussion board. And all semester long, you'll see how each of my classes is doing. I'm teaching 8 different classes at 3 different colleges this semester. That's right. I have a full plate just like you. That being said, that is an opportunity for us to do some amazing like giving in our community. And it's important because feeding people, can we feed the world? We're going to talk about food. We have a food waste project. How much sociology can we do in 4 walls or in a classroom or even in your comfy Hobbit home or wherever you're living right now? The food drive, it goes on all semester. A lot of people don't donate to the end. Sometimes they donate early. If you donate early, make sure it's under your name so that we can cross-reference your name with the spreadsheet that we get from the food bank. Does that sound cool? All right, awesome. All right, what questions do you have about me, for me, about the class? I'm gonna take a drink. I'm gonna turn myself into Kermit the Frog meme.
So,
No,
isn't sharing a video or movie or documentary for the purpose of like learning allowable under the Fair Use Act?
Yes, yes, it is. I don't know. I like that though. I'll look that up. Yes,
'Cause I-
Samuel. Yes, it is. Sorry. I'll try and say that less evil next time. Yeah. No, wait, that's evil too. I think we can do that, man. I think we can do that. Yeah, yeah. Anything that saves my students money. I don't want you buying like this textbook you can find used. I was eating like, you know what I was eating in college? Martha Gooch. That was like the 28-cent mac and cheese. And if you're eating the Gooch, it's just one step up from special kitty cat food. I mean, so I would rather my students be able to survive, than add on any more costs. So streaming the film sounds like a good idea. We're going to get into a bunch of discussions this semester, which I think are fantastic. You'll have a chance to practice some hands-on stuff and look at what's going on in our communities. I don't know. Questions for me? How do we sign up to volunteer at the food bank? You'll have to look up Larimer County Food Bank because I'm not sure in person anymore what they're doing or how they're doing that. They have had to change the way that they distribute food dramatically, obviously. But I know you can, and I think it's a good thing to do. What part of Chicago are you from? Wheaton originally. And I used to fly back a few times a year for Bulls games. I'm a huge Bulls fan. Bears fan too. I mean, just because the Bears aren't any good doesn't mean I'm not a Bears fan. When I was in 5th grade, I was doing the Super Bowl shuffle. Take that, Minnesota. Ooh. Sorry. Has Minnesota ever won a Super Bowl? I don't think so. Well, anyway, the only thing that matters on a Sunday during football season to me is if the Packers lose and the Bears win. And so still the only thing that matters is if the Packers lose. I mean, I really don't want to have to cross JD. I don't want to have to cross reference your student ID number with your grade and your Packer allegiance. So let's just stay away from that day one. Just kidding. Anyway, questions. Give me some questions. We got a couple minutes here. What's your band's name? Musketeer Gripweed. Nobody knows how to spell Musketeer anymore because it's just us in the candy bar nowadays. But we've been around 15 years. It's actually a John Lennon alias. Look it up. I love the Beatles. Families from Wheaton. Favorite vegetable? Favorite band? Wow, so many things. Vegetable? Favorite vegetable? Really? 18-year-olds? That's the question you have for me? Is my favorite vegetable? I think there'd be something like spicier than that. But favorite Star Wars character? Ooh, Boba Fett. Although The Mandalorian, Dave Filoni started doing Clone Wars, the animated thing, years and years ago when the boys were little, and he's crushing it. He's the reason that Favreau is doing it. Favreau doesn't know anything about Star Wars. He's just got the goods in the live action thing. So together, peanut butter and chocolate. That's what I'm talking about. Top Beatles album. Favorite plant. We're going to skip that one. Favorite chicken breed. No, my favorite plant. Everybody's like, weed plant. No. That peace lily, my students gave me that. My mom passed away last semester in the fall unexpectedly, and my students gave me that peace lily. So I'm not going to say favorite plant, but I love that plant. My students were super cool last semester to me. Do you build your chicken coop yourself? No, I'll show that though on the farm. I'll show some pictures of the farm. I did not. This particular one was here on the farm. I built the last one we had at our last house. We've been out here on the farm about 4 years. Best college experience. Oh boy, so many of these questions I can't answer today. It's not that I don't want to answer them, it's that my lawyer is standing right next to me and he's like, and then he's like, okay, favorite vegetable. I was like, I'm so limited as to what I can answer. I'm just kidding. College is a fantastic experience. Animated clone or favorite plant. Favorite chicken breed. Ooh. Wow, we have a lot of chickens. My boys like the bantams, the mini chickens. The bantams are like the tiny ones. We have some really cool ones. They got feathers on their feet. I like the Polish chickens. They've got like afros and they are so not suited for survival. Like if you've got an afro that goes around your whole head and you can't look up where like prey is coming from, that is, yeah, those chickens, they are so cool looking and they literally run into walls. That was one of the ones that got killed the other day. Oh, and ducks are the worst. Ducks are dumber than chickens. Sorry.
Jason, I think you missed an interesting question. Like, what instrument do you play, and will you play on Zoom for us?
I'll play where for you?
On Zoom for us?
Oh, no. Here's the deal. I joke about, the intranet, but we're on Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube right now. The new album is called More Than Ever. So if you want to hear it, there's videos. I don't know. It's kind of the other thing I do. My dad was a 5th grade teacher for 40 years. He played it, sang in a band. I front the band. I sing in a band. I play harmonica and dobro. And I think it's really quality stuff, but you'll have to check it out. I don't know. Maybe you dig it. Maybe you don't. Silkies. Oh yeah. 4 chickens. Oh, I bought chickens because of Jason. Oh, look at that. Busted. Favorite genre of music. I just love live music. My wife and I spent 20 some years going to see Fish, like all the time. And The Dead and Widespread Panic. But I'm not one of those guys that's like Beatles or Rolling Stones. I'm like both, right? Like Fish or Grateful Dead. Huh? Who makes those choices? All those bands. But I'm really, really into James Brown and gospel music and soul and old funk stuff. To me, I'm also a blues guy. My first cassette tape was Little Walter, who's a blues harmonica player. So when I got in a band when I was 15, everybody else played drums and guitar and bass. So that's why I sang and played harmonica, because nobody did that. But yeah, so music is our life. That's why we started having concerts here on the farm last semester, and they had to be safe too, because concerts, it's dicey. You want to go out there and have fun, but there's a huge responsibility that we have to each other right now. Any other questions? Your bands? Oh, the band showed me last semester. Cool. All right. Chickens, Clone Wars. Okay, that's Star Wars and chicken talk. Sounds good for a Tuesday, doesn't it? I mean, we could be talking about the rest of, what's going on in the world, which I know has been stressing everybody out, and it's pretty intense, but we don't need to get to that today. You probably are all aware of that. Tomorrow, nothing's going on tomorrow. Just another Wednesday. Hey, and 2021, hold my beer, right? Some of that stuff is pretty funny. Like I live through memes, and I think that this is going to be a fantastic semester. No more questions? Nope. Okay. Hopefully this semester you get a chance to meet my guys, Storm and Zion. Storm is a cross-country runner, stand-up bass player and orchestra. He's got his own vintage toy channel on YouTube and sells vintage toys on eBay. He's got his own store. He wants to work for Hasbro, and he's taking College Calculus 3 right now as a 10th grader. I don't know. That guy's got it going on. So I think he's going to design toys. My young guy has blonde dreadlocks down to here because he has Viking hair, and it dreads up. If he puts a hat on for 5 minutes, it's already happening. So about a year ago, we went full dread with him, and he's an artist, and he does animation, and he's also a drummer. So we do. You have to be a Renaissance human being these days, because there's so many fantastic things to learn about. Any more questions before I go? Do you have a meme account? There's such a thing as a meme account? Well, send me an email. I'm interested. A meme account? I've got some harassing of my sons to do this afternoon. Honestly, there's no more stuff here. No. Okay, awesome. I will leave you then in the way that I leave all of my classes, which is be good people and do good things. I know that you're out there in the world. Did you accept the Star Wars Christmas special, or just not exist? Okay. If you're not into Star Wars, I get that. And I won't talk about Star Wars very much this semester. If you've never seen the Star Wars Christmas special, it might be the worst thing ever captured on film ever. So, and I'm a Mystery Science Theater guy. So I like Mystery Science Theater, where they watch the bad or the B movies, the 1950s movies, I Accuse My Parents or Giant Praying Mantis, and then they kind of riff on it the whole time. If you've never heard of Mystery Science Theater 3000, you've got a whole new world out there for you if you love B movies. But that is the, yes, ever. It is the worst thing that anybody's ever recorded. This Zoom class is a better film than whatever that was. Whatever that was. Heck, this class, just this last hour, was better than any of the prequels, really. If we're going to be honest. I mean, No. All right. All right. Nope, I don't have anything else. So be good people and do good things. We're gonna have a fun semester, but here's the deal. Fun, but learning, retention, respect, sociology, science. Okay, so learning, I guess I won't say but, I'll say learning and all of those good things, because in my class, that's how we go about it. All right, peace. Reach out to me through email if you have anything. Look on Top Hat if you get it for the questions Thursday morning, okay? And then we'll just cruise along this semester. Thanks, everybody. Peace. Be good people, do good things. I will post this meeting to YouTube, and then I will post the link under modules or maybe announcements, since this is sort of the class intro and maybe everybody couldn't make it. You're welcome. Peace, and thank you for being here. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Take care.